Welcome to the channel, folks. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're returning, I'm glad you came back. That means that there's something interesting about this channel. Before I get started, I want to give you a recap, especially to the new viewers. And if you want to know more about it, I put out my very first video about a month ago explaining why I wanted to become a homesteader and why I had the passion. I am from Missouri. I live in the northern part of the state of Missouri, and growing up on the exact same property that I'm building my homestead on and farm on, we had horses here. I always had a passion to raising animals. Adjacent to this property, we had some more land that we raised cattle, and also growing up, going to my grandparents' farm, I always had that passion. I wanted to do that, but also as time goes, life, career, all that takes priority. And I did do some farms, but also I am also on the carnivore lifestyle journey. And when I've been on it for over a year, I feel good. I decided I am going to start this farm up, start building this homestead, but it comes at a cost, especially when you don't have the money. And it does take time when you have a full-time job, but you're the only one here. So what I am doing is building it on a budget. I am budgeting and planning on this homestead. The good news is I have a tractor. I have most of the implements I need. I have a truck. I do have the fencing materials I need. I have buildings. I have a barn, a shop, and that's the advantage for me. But this property needs a lot of fencing, especially the fencing I need to get is for the animals that I want to raise here. My goal is in the next 3 to 5 years, I want to have my first paddock fenced in and be raising haired sheep and goats. I also, in the next year or two, I want to raise my own chickens, have my own chicken eggs, and that is some ways you can be self-sustainable on your homestead. That's saying, as I'm talking about fence, last week, this fence behind me, I did a video starting cleaning out the fence, and I talked about why it's important to keep your fence rows cleaned, and I got a start on it. Well, today I am working on continuing this fence row, and I want to get it cleaned out, and I like to get it finished today because I know Thanksgiving's coming up, but also we're coming up. It's very nice here in Missouri, but it's going to turn cold here really soon, and I think they're planning on calling for snow. I don't know how much snow we're going to get here. I don't think we're going to have much, but we're going to have some cold weather. So when we have snow, that's going to take time on my weekends away because I have to go do snow removal. So I'm hoping today in this video that I can complete the fence cleaning on this fence row that I'm looking at. I know eventually this fence is going to be taken out. I got to replace the quarter post, and I got to replace the barbed wire with this sheep and goat woven wire. But as of right now, this is also a property line because this property, my parents deeded me 9, almost 10 acres so I could put a house on it 10 years ago, and it is in a mortgage, and I have to keep this fence because it is a property line. Eventually, one day, all this will be together, and I don't have to worry about it. But also in the future, this is going to be a dividing line for a paddock. And my goal is to have several paddocks where I can rotate the sheep and goats. So that way I have abundance of grass. I don't have to use a lot of hay. And the good thing about it is they are very useful, especially sheep. They'll eat the grass. They'll keep the grass down. They'll fertilize. The goats will keep the weeds and the brush out. They love that. And not only that, it'll fertilize and this land will thrive, and I can be able to have abundance of livestock here. I would love to do cattle here, but unfortunately, this property is too small. But I am going to try to plan on raising, a calf up to butcher so I can have my own meat, because sometimes it's a lot cheaper to buy that, have that, and you raise it versus it is to buy it in the store. But I can't be able to have cattle, not enough land. But as I'm talking about this fence back here, you want to definitely keep it clean. And the reason why you want to keep it clean is because not only to keep, your predators away, because it's a good way to disguise themselves, and if they are after your livestock, they can get through. The other thing is, it can be a nuisance, especially when you have nuisance trees around that and that likes to just trees pop up. Cedar trees in Missouri is very bad. And now we have these Bradford pear trees. And we also have different types of trees that just wants to grow up wild because, birds carry seeds, the wind carries the pollen and stuff like that. So it is a constant battle. And that's the beautiful thing about certain livestock, especially goats. They love the brush. They'll keep that brush out and you can have a clean paddock. The sheep will keep the grass down, and both animals is beneficial for fertilizer. So I'm going to set you up on a time lapse, and I'm going to get started on this, continue cleaning this fence row out, and hopefully today will be the end of this and I can move on to the next project. So let me get you set up. All right, I'm gonna wrap this video up. I did get most of this fence done. Now this fence is probably from last week, and this week I got the fence almost 3/4 away done, or almost completely done. I still have some down this way below this hill I still got to finish up. I'll do that. I may do another video on that. I hadn't decided yet, but I will get to that and I'll finish that up. Like always, if you like this video and you enjoyed this content and you want to know more about homesteading or homesteading on a budget, do one thing for me. Hit that like button. Subscribe to Show Me Homesteader. So, comment down below and share this video. The more likes, the more shares, the more comments, YouTube will push this out to others so it can see it. John 14:6. Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes through the Father except through me. If you're struggling in anything, any storms of life, or any battles, cancer, battling finances, whatever it is, He's not going to take it away, but through Him, He'll make it easier. He'll make that load or that struggle light and that burden light. Rely on Jesus. And like always, let's be kind, be positive, have a good attitude, and encourage and support one another. Y'all have a great day. God bless, and I'll see you on the next one.